everyone, welcome to the day 5 of the Eggless Week by Academy of Pastry and Culinary Arts. I am Vanessa Rego and today I will be sharing with you an eggless version of my chocolate fudge streusel cake. To tell you a little about my background, I started baking around 6 years ago. I was always on YouTube looking at these cooking videos, finding the perfect recipes. One day I tried to bake this chocolate cake and it turned out fine, and that's when the madness started. A few years later, I saw this post put up by my aunt about a sugarcraft course. I so wanted to go in. My parents thought it was just a hobby. They did not know it is going to come at them big. My mother still is nodding over there, thinking, "Isko jaane nahi dena chahiye tha." But here we are. That's when Vanlicious came into existence. A few years later, when I knew I had to do it professionally, I knew I had to get everything from. I wanted to know everything from scratch. I wanted to know the basic of the basic and the basic of the advanced. So that's when I went to Academy of Pastry Arts, and I have to tell you this, that it has been my best decision to go to Academy of Pastry Arts. The chefs from whom I've learned everything, the people with whom I was surrounded while learning, and the management, Dinesh sir, accounting, store. I'm just blessed to have everyone, each and every person known. I cannot put it into words. The magic which is present in the kitchen when the 15 of us, including the chef who's teaching us, we go into the same direction with the same kind of passion and enthusiasm to create the best pastries. Of course, not thinking about the cost and the time, but yeah, it's marvelous that we do. If left on me, I would keep on jabbering about the Academy magic all day. So let's get on to the cake. So there are 3 parts to it. First is the streusel, second is the chocolate cake, and third is the caramel sauce. So we'll get on to the streusel. Here we have the dry ingredients and all the ingredients ready. The ingredients are posted on the Academy page as well as on my personal account. We have the flour over here. Put the flour in a bowl. The white sugar, powdered sugar, and the brown sugar. We just mix it nicely using just a spatula, nothing else. Then we add in the butter. Here I have used unsalted Amul butter. You can see the consistency. It's not melted, it's not chilled, it's at the soft stage. You have to bring it to this stage and add it in. And you mix it till it comes to a crumble stage. Mix it really nicely. So it has come to a crumble stage. Here we add in the walnuts. So these are not roasted, these are just plain walnuts. We are not roasting the walnuts because they are going to go on top of the cake. It will get roasted on top. If you use roasted walnuts, there is a chance it might get over roasted, and we definitely do not want that. If you do not have walnuts, you can use hazelnuts, you can use almonds, pistachios, whatever you like. And you just mix it in once more till it all comes together. just like this. So our streusel is sorted. Yeah. Okay, now we get on to the cake. So yeah, some water in this. So for the cake, the first thing we are going to do is melt the butter and the chocolate together. I'm doing that on a double boiler here today, but you can definitely do it in the microwave. But since I could not bring the microwave here, that's why I thought of showing you how to do it on a double boiler. I have a vessel over here which has a little bit of water, and just so that we are putting a little bit of water just so that the water does not touch this bowl. When the water heats up, the steam of the water will come onto the pan and it will melt the chocolate slowly. And we switch on the heat. Yeah. We put the butter. Today I am using Amul unsalted butter because I had that on hand. If you don't have unsalted butter, you can definitely use the normal salted butter. If you're using the salted butter, then make sure that you omit the salt given in the recipe. And the chocolate. Again, this chocolate is Van Houten 54% dark chocolate. You can use any chocolate that you want. Just separating these out so it melts faster. Okay. Let it heat slowly and gently. It will take some time to melt slowly. Yeah. So if you're doing it in a microwave, the thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to put this chocolate and butter into a bowl and put it in the microwave only for 15 to 20 seconds, not more than that. Then take it out, stir it like this nicely, and then put it back in the microwave for 15 to 20 seconds. Remove it, stir it nicely, then put the bowl into the microwave for 15 to 20 seconds. That's how you melt, you do that till you melt the chocolate and the butter. The reason why we do this is we don't want the chocolate to burn in the start. If you keep it for 1 minute long in the start itself, there's a possibility that you might burn the chocolate. So we melt the chocolate slowly and steadily. Do we have any questions?
No.
Mona? The substitute which we are adding today instead of egg is sour cream. You have to understand why we put eggs into the recipe to find the substitute of it. Eggs are generally used to help the cake rise a bit, to add moisture, to build up stability, and provide sort of structure and bring the mixture together. So the milk and all the dairy products or sour cream, fresh cream, it all has acid in it which helps the cake to get its moisture. The reason why we are using sour cream today is because one second. The reason why we are using sour cream today is sour cream adds this moisture to the cake without thinning out the batter. We don't want the batter to thin out. That's why we put sour cream in. It also gives a little bit richness, different richness to the cake, which it is hard to find in other substitutes. And we're using baking soda in the recipe today, so the sour cream will help to activate the baking soda. That's the reason we use this sour cream. Sour cream is basically fermented fresh cream, fermented using a lactic acid bacteria. Now, what are these lactic acid bacteria that you can use to do it? These are the lemon juice, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or yogurt. If you're lucky enough to get the sour cream outside, then you save yourself a pain of making it at home. Here I don't have access to the sour cream. That's the reason I make it at home. So the chocolate and butter has melted together. Now that's when we add the oil and vanilla extract. The vanilla extract is already in this. Mix it in using the spatula, no need for a whisk. Mix it nicely. Then we add in the sour cream. Now, the way how I have made this sour cream at home is I've used 250 ml of Amul cream and I've kept it on a vessel, and I let it come to a simmer, not a boil, just a simmer. And when it comes to a simmer, I switch off the heat, I take it off the heat, and then I put 1 teaspoon of yogurt. And I let it sit at room temperature for 12 to 14 hours. And then if you have to store this sour cream, you put it in the refrigerator. I have stored this for around 1 week and it stays fresh, nothing happens. Only the thing is I remove it in every 2 days and I give it a small whisk so that the water and the cream does not separate from each other. So that's how you make a sour cream. You just use 250 grams of Amul cream and 1 teaspoon of yogurt. You let the cream come to a simmer, not a boil. You take it off the heat, you add 1 teaspoon of yogurt and you let it sit out for 12 to 14 hours, not more. That's enough, 12 to 14 hours, and this is how you get the sour cream. Now the sour cream which you must have seen on the internet or on the videos, or you might have got from outside, you might see that it's a bit more thicker than the one which we are making over here. But it has gelling agents or any additives which will help it to gel a little more. In this we are adding none of it, it's natural, but it still will give you the same amount of moisture and the richness we are looking for. So we add this one. We give it a small whisk, so that we don't have any lumps after we put it in the batter. Yeah, now it's ready to go in. So everything, and we put it in. Then we add the milk in. Now if you're having a hard time finding fresh cream to make the sour cream at home, you can use yogurt as substitute, but it might not give you the exact same result that you're looking for. You can use yogurt, and since it's already thin, you'll omit the milk which we just added into the mixture, because the reason why we are adding milk to it is to provide a little bit more thickening. But if you are adding yogurt, please do not add the milk. It will make the batter even further thin. Mix it nicely.
Somebody has asked, whipping cream or cooking cream?
This is Amul cream, 25% fat, which we get outside. The blue color small pack, not the whipping cream, cooking cream.
Can we use dahi or buttermilk?
We can use dahi, not the buttermilk. Buttermilk is when you add lactic acid bacteria to milk, and dahi is when you get it from outside, the ones which we make. Yeah, those you can use. Then we add the sugar. So all of this is already weighed and sieved and weighed, so that there are no lumps in the mixture. We don't want. We want a smooth bite of that lovely cake. The only crunchy thing we are having has the walnuts or any kind of nuts that you are adding in.
Do we add milk to make it thinner?
Yeah, in this recipe you add milk to make it thinner. But if you are using yogurt or that sort, then you don't have to add in the milk.
Do we need to stir after adding yogurt?
Yes, definitely. Makes it real nice.
Can you advise the chocolate which can be used?
So any kind of chocolate can be used for this. The better the chocolate, the better the taste. Here I have used Van Houten for 54% dark chocolate. You can use Maude, 2M, Valrhona, Vanilla, or Caribou. Caribou would be the best thing if you add that. So the better the chocolate, the better the fudge cake. Then we added the flour and the salt. So if you were to add salted butter, you omit the salt. But since we are adding unsalted butter, we add in the salt. Yes.
Is this brown sugar or caster sugar?
In this one, it is normal white sugar, powder sugar. I got the whole grainy kind of sugar, and then I put it in my normal mixie and made it kind of powdery. Not the caster sugar which we get outside. I use the normal powdered sugar.
Will the consistency be like brownies after baking?
Yes, it is almost similar to it.
Is it Amul chocolate that we are using here?
No, not the Amul chocolate. We are using Van Houten. The name of the company, the brand that we are using is Van Houten. Dark chocolate, 54%. We remove all the lumps in the mixture.
Chef, it's yogurt to be added to Amul fresh cream, not homemade curd?
Sorry?
Is yogurt to be added to Amul fresh cream and not homemade curd?
Yeah, so you add the yogurt to the fresh cream, not the curd. You add it to the fresh cream and you let it sit out for 12 to 14 hours. You bring it to a simmer, add the yogurt, 1 teaspoon, and then you keep it out for 12 to 14 hours.
Which are the other ingredients we can use instead of sour cream?
You can use yogurt. Right now I told about yogurt because yogurt will make the batter a little bit thin. You omit the milk after you use the yogurt.
Can you please explain how to make sour cream again?
Okay, you put so this ratio I am using is 250 ml of Amul cream, which is here, Amul cream, 250 ml of Amul cream, and you keep it on the heat on a low to medium stage, and you let it come to a simmer, all the while stirring the pot so that the cream does not stick to the pan and burn. You stir it nicely, let it come to a simmer, and then you add 1 teaspoon of your yogurt. You remove it out of the pot and out of the heat, and then you add the yogurt, and then you keep it for 12 to 14 hours.
Is there any substitute for sour cream?
Yes, I told that.
Sorry.
Okay, so here it is ready. The baking soda is here. I'm not adding it right away. We add it only when we're putting it in the bowl. So I'll get the. So here I'm using a 6-inch round tin. The bottom is lined with a parchment paper for it to release easily, and the sides I have put butter and flour. It's advisable you put parchment paper, not dusted with flour and butter, because there's a tendency that it might stick to the pan. So you don't want to add this butter and flour. You have to add the parchment. So when I'm about to put it in the pan, that's when I add the baking soda. We don't let it sit for out long, because the baking soda might react with the sour cream really fast, and the reaction starts over here. So it might miss out on rising in the oven. We put the lovely batter into the tin. Do not leave anything in the bowl. This is some precious chocolate batter. And you even it out using the spatula. Yeah.
Is 35% cream okay to make the sour cream?
Yeah, 35% would be much better. It will give you more thicker sour cream. Since 25% is easily available, that's what I've used here. So after you've done that, you quickly add on to this streusel that we have prepared onto the cake. Put it as evenly as possible. Get messy, use your hand, and add it as soon as possible. So I had preheated the oven before itself, before starting the cake batter. I've preheated the oven at 170 degrees C for around 20 minutes, and I put this cake tin into the oven for 45 minutes exact at 170 C. 45 minutes 170 C. I kept the oven preheating beforehand itself. Here I have Vanita who's going to do it for me. So we start on with making the caramel sauce. Here.
Chef, your Insta account name please.
Yeah. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me later on, you can direct message me on Vanessa Rego. I am on Insta with the name Vanessa Rego. Here's the ID which I have written down over here. And if you want to see any of my bakes, the name is Venlicious, VENI_LICIOUS.
Can we use in a silicone muff mold?
Yes, you
Muffin
can.
mold.
Yes, you can use silicone mold, the baking this the all one second.
That's why I asked.
So these kinds of molds also you can use, and the one which I showed, those also you can use, and silicone molds, okay, fine. This one is much easier because you don't have to do anything like turn it over or something like that. You just have to remold it like this and the cake would be ready. So much preferable would be this one, but you don't have that one, no problem. You can do it with the one which I showed you in the beginning also.
Is double cream okay to make sour cream?
Yeah, double cream would be much better. So we'll start on with this, and in between if you have questions then I'll solve them. There are two caramelizing method. One is the dry and one is the wet method. The one which we are using here is the dry method. So we'll start on a low speed, very low speed. We don't want it to burn. And yeah, I've used caster sugar, not the powdered sugar. If suppose you don't have the caster sugar, then you can try this with the green sugar as well. Don't use powdered sugar. That's not going to give you a nice caramel sauce. And you scatter this across nicely so that the entire sugar gets caramelized evenly. Okay. Yeah. So for this one we don't need to worry because we are not adding any liquid for the wet caramel. So with the wet caramel we generally add the water and the sugar, and then we let the pot on a low speed, and we do not touch the vessel. We just do it, give it a little bit of wiggle or something like that, but we don't usually use a spatula. But since this is a dry caramel, I can go ahead and mix the sugar so that it caramelizes evenly. When I'm done caramelizing it, when it gets to a nice amber golden color, that's when you add other ingredients. Here we have the cream and the butter, and when it gets to a caramelizing stage, I add in this cream. I would warm this cream a little bit, because if you add the cream directly, chilled cream directly to the caramel, there is a tendency that the butter of the oils of the cream might separate. You might not get a good caramel. So it's better to warm this up a little bit, just for like 15 to 20 seconds, not more than that. You don't want it to boil or something like that, just a little bit warm. This might take some time to caramelize. Do we have any questions?
Sorry, missed it. What did you say about baking soda?
There was nothing really said about baking. So I just said that about the baking soda, when it's only when you want to bake it, immediately you add the baking soda and you put it in the tin. You don't add the baking soda and then keep the batter waiting, because the baking soda might react with the sour cream, and we don't want it to happen outside the oven. We want that reaction to happen inside the oven so that the cake gets a good rise. So we add it immediately when we are about to put it in the tin.
Please repeat the temperature.
The temperature for baking is 170 degrees C at for 45 minutes exact. So you will have to check it in your oven. Sometimes the oven doesn't lies. It does not show you the right temperature. So you have to go ahead and see which is the soft spot or the hot spot in your oven, and accordingly you have to keep see at what temperature or what what is the time for the cake in your oven. For my oven it is 45 minutes exact. I like it a bit fudgy, so I keep it for 45 minutes. But if you want it to be more like a cakey structure, you can make it, you can bake it for another 10 to 15 minutes or so. But I like it fudgy, so I put it for like 45 minutes, not more than that.
Can we bake this in a loaf mode? Any steps to take care for that?
No, there's no steps other than this one. It's a normal tin. You just have to line it down with the parchment paper and the sides with the butter and flour. Simple.
Chef, how you prepared this streusel? How did you prepare
I just added all the dry ingredients in a bowl. I gave it a little bit of mix, and then I added the butter. It was not chilled or it was not melted butter. It was simply soft butter. I added to it and I mixed it in. When it came to a crumbly stage, I added the walnuts in it. You can add any nuts if you want. My caramel is refusing to prepare a little bit faster. It's taking more time than usual.
Is 170 required for baking this cake? Because normal routine is 150 Celsius.
No, for this cake you require to be on 170. We generally bake cakes at 180, so 160, 180, whatever is according to the recipe. Every recipe temperature varies. For this one we use 170 degree, but you can definitely try, with 180, maybe with lesser time or something. If you see that in your oven the streusel is getting this dark color and you still have to bake it for longer time, that's when you add a foil paper on top so that the streusel does not turn black at the same time the cake gets baked. So you generally add a foil paper on top so that the cake does not burn off. So here the caramel is getting ready. Karisha, come closer. So some of it has already melted and start giving out this amber color, and I'll just mix it in. There's no fear of crystallization in this recipe, so you can go ahead, mix it in like this.
Can we use salted butter to make this streusel?
Yes, definitely you can use salted butter.
What is the difference between a fudge cake and a brownie?
It's not that much of a difference, but I like my brownies more fudgy and literally oozing out with chocolate. This fudge cake is not like that. So after it has reached to an amber color, we add in the cream. So here we are using 25% Amul cream, keeping it in a low speed, and that's when I add the cream, and you have to switch to a whisk over here, okay, so that you mix it right in, and you whisk it continuously. Make sure that you are ready over here only with the cream and everything. We add a little bit, it will come to a boil, go back a bit, stir it in quickly, real quickly, add it in the entire cream, come to this stage with a spatula and add all of it, all the cream. Keep it whisking continuously. Let it sit out. Okay, my bad. Okay. And we add in the butter. Add it right in. You don't need any temperature or any of that sort. Temperature we check for the caramel. It's when we want it to be at a little chewy texture, or for Italian meringue or something like that. But for this one we don't need to check any kind of temperature. In this you can do any variations, like I added Amul 25% cream, but if you wanted, then you could have added little bit of Baileys to make it more rich. And here we have the caramel ready, and here we have the caramel sauce ready. So at this point we add in the salt. Suppose if you don't want to make your caramel sauce salty, then do not add the salt. But here I want a little bit of salty and salty taste to the chocolate cake. So I add the salt in right now and I mix it in. So as I said, for the cream you can use any kind of variations if you want. You can maybe use half and half of Baileys and half of Amul cream. And this is one thing I learned from the academy, is doing the variations for each and every recipe. Can you get a clean spatula? So one thing I learned in the academy is the variation that we used to always do. So this one time I remember when we wanted to make panna cotta for one of the classes. I think Chef Eureka was teaching us, and we did not want to make the vanilla panna cotta, and we said, Chef, we don't want to make the vanilla panna cotta. And that's when she said, yeah, then what do you want to do? So we were like, anything other than vanilla panna cotta. And she was like, give me some ideas. So we told her coconut panna cotta. We went straight into the kitchen. There was no coconut milk or coconut water. So we went to the nearby Nariyal Wala and we got this coconut water, and we used it in the recipe. She taught us how to use it in the recipe. So it's similar with each and every chef over there. Everyone is so enthusiastic to create new and new variations. In Chef Shailesh's Shulcraft Art class, we were later making on vada pav, and he taught us how to make this pav and everything. It is the same with each and every chef. Chef Michelle, Chef Avni, Chef Ramandeep, Chef Yogesh, Chef Dean, Chef Akash, each and every one. So the caramel is ready. I pour it in a different bowl for it to cool down a little faster.
What is the difference between a wet and a dry caramel?
For the dry caramel, we do not use water and sugar while making it. We simply use the sugar and we let it caramelize on its own. For the wet one, we add the caramel, we add the sugar and the water together, and then we do not stir the pot. But this is a dry caramel, you do not need to worry about anything. You can mix the pot or everything. So the cake, of course, for the purpose of the demonstration, I made a cake already over here, and it's come out baked. You can see there's this golden top, nice golden top on the streusel. So if you are baking it in the microwave, there's a chance that the cake might not have a golden top. The streusel will bake, of course, but it won't have a golden top. So this one I made in the OTG, that is the reason why it's having a golden top. Use a straight sharp knife, run it across the tin nicely. Twice, thrice, but do it nicely so the cake does not stick to the tin. Then we take a normal surface like this, we keep it on top, we flip it over Tap it once, comes out nicely. Remove the baking paper, parchment paper. The cake which we are going to serve in the plate. So this plate, we just put it like this. We catch both the things and we flip it over. Here it is ready. Okay. I'm going to put on top this lovely salted caramel that I have prepared. Putting it in the piping bag.
What is the ratio of cream and sugar? My caramel always becomes thick.
So it generally has. So I have not really noticed the ratio of caramel, the sugar and cream. I use it by the recipe. So the recipe is given already on the Academy page. You can go and make it with this recipe. I'm sure this won't curdle or thicken up or something like that. It becomes perfect as you've seen over here. So try using this recipe, and if you have any problem with this thing, then let me know on my personal account, and I will be glad to help you out. Put this lovely caramel sauce.
Is it necessary to put the caramel?
No, it's not necessary to put the caramel. The reason why I'm laughing is my sisters who are doing this behind, they don't like caramel sauce. And they are laughing on the question because they were telling me not to use the caramel sauce in the recipe. But I wanted to use it because it tastes amazing with the chocolate cake. And I'll drizzle it generously. Generously, okay? Here we have. Yeah. Do we have any more questions? I'm going to cut and show you all the outcome of it. Hope it bakes now. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Me? No? Okay. So using this sharp knife.
Is the cake supposed to be sunk in the middle?
While doing this cake, honestly, for the purpose of this live demonstration, I wanted it to be really perfect. So I kept opening the cake, the oven in between. That's the reason it's sunk in a little bit in between, but it generally does not. If you put it for 45 minutes straight in the oven, it does not. And you need to do that. Let it go into the oven for 45 minutes straight. After that, you can maybe open the oven, check it with a toothpick, and then you decide whether you want to bake it further or not. But if you keep on opening the oven, the temperature of the oven drops, and that's when you get a little bit sunken cake in between. Nevertheless, it tastes amazing still.
Can we use the caramel jar, the ready-made caramel jar?
Yeah, definitely. You have the luxury of getting it ready-made. Definitely go ahead, use the ready-made one.
Do we need to heat it before putting it over the cake?
The caramel sauce, no, not really needed. But if you are storing this caramel sauce in the fridge, then a little bit, yes. I would suggest heat it up a little bit so that it is liquid, in a liquidy state, more liquidy state than usual. It's really fudgy, you guys. Really fuzzy.
Can we
Tastes
store
amazing. Yeah.
Can we store the caramel sauce and use it for later purpose?
Yeah. You can store it in a any kind of jar. I usually store it in a mason jar, glass mason jar, and then I use it later on for all of my cakes, for my fresh cream salted caramel cakes, and if my cupcakes. It's used for everything literally. So here's where it's very very fudgy, and I suggest you to make this. I made this like 6 times in this week, just so everything gets to be perfect. I wanted to be really fudgy and really good with taste. I made it 6 times. Nobody got bored over here. Still eating, still having happy faces behind the camera to dive into this cake. Just dive into this cake. So definitely make this. And if you have any questions regarding this recipe after the live session, then you can personal message me on Vanessa Rego on Instagram, Vanessa Rego, and this is my other page ID, Vanilicious Veni_Licious. You can message on Vanessa Rego and ask me any questions you have. So hope that most of your questions are answered. Do we have any more? So we'll take all the questions later on my page if you have any. I hope you had a great time learning this recipe, and if you were making it with me, then making it with me. A very hearty thanks to Academy of Pastry Arts for giving me this opportunity to demonstrate it with you guys. A special thank you to my mom for letting me move the furniture and her cutleries. The struggle is real, you guys. And of course my summer interns and / younger sisters who were behind the camera. I hope you had a great time. Tata, bye.